Hi. So I have a question for you. I guess I always have questions for people. Because I question a lot about things myself for myself. Um, how do you feel energized? Because that's what we're talking about this month. Energized, energy. And it means to animate, empower, invigorate, motivate, strengthen, stimulate. Actually, energy is an electrical current, right? And energy we can feel in our physical bodies if we tune in and tune up to the higher frequency of love, the higher frequency of source energy, source being our energy. So I'm asking that question, how do you feel energized? Because I don't know about you guys, but I often find that I don't feel energized. I often find as I go through my day and, I teach classes, I work with clients, and there's just some times where I just got to lay down in the middle of the day and take a nap because I feel drained, not energized. And that's what I do. I take a nap. Some people exercise and they feel more energy. I don't. And part of that is because, for me at least, when you're empathic, you tend to give a lot of your energy away without necessarily knowing it. So I guess I'm talking to the empaths out there. How do you feel energized when you're empathic? And because that's what I notice that I do. When I work with clients, I'm often listening on several different levels. And so then so that I can hear what they're really asking for, what they really are in need of in terms of our work together. And that means that it takes a lot of energy for me to feel that and activate it, and then explain it or work with the client so they can understand their own energy system. So to energize for me means healthy eating, good sleep, time out in nature. I have a really lovely sitting area in my backyard, and I sit out there every morning, and my dog Macy and I hang out while I do my meditation and journaling, and I take time to listen to the birds. In fact, we have this hummingbird that's been going around our roses, which are not in bloom yet, but just investigating things. And that's energizing to me, to watch nature, to listen to nature, to be in nature. And so find out what energizes you. Some people love to go hang out by the beach, at the ocean. They feel rested and recovered after that. Some people love to hike in the mountains and feel energized because they've been out in nature. Finding the ways that best energize us instead of grabbing a second, third, fourth cup of coffee, or in my case, sometimes an afternoon cup of coffee. That will give you better energy to deal with your life. Now, sometimes the energy that depletes us is of a negative nature, well, I'm just going to say it. There are many people, this is why it's important for you, the listener, for us, to be intuitively aware, to really listen to our heart wisdom, not our head and our ego, but our heart wisdom, because there's often many people out there, and they don't know they're doing it. They don't, who are what's called an energy vampire. They see a bright and shining person. They see a person who has lots of energy, who's happy, who's healthy, and they automatically, without thinking, begin to siphon off that person's energy. Now, if you're somebody who's feeling depleted, chances are you have someone in your circle, maybe in your home, or just an acquaintance who is siphoning off your energy. And it's important to be aware of that because we all need to contain our own energy. And here's what you do if you feel like you're being depleted by someone who is siphoning your energy. I'll give you a little quick tip. Begin by grounding yourself, feeling your feet on earth, right? Rooting into the earth energy, which is a very healthy thing to do. I do it daily, sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, but really rooting yourself here on planet Earth, because you're here to live a life and you're here to learn, to grow and evolve. That's why we're all here, all of us on the earth plane. But then once you've grounded, begin to imagine. I use rose gold. I use the color of rose gold. Lots of people use white light, but imagine a bubble going above your head and surrounding your entire physical body. By doing that, also include your mental and emotional bodies within that bubble, all the way from the top of your head, give a few inches up, and to the bottom of your feet, a few inches down. And that bubble intentionally set, and I like to fill it with a lot of love, just breathing in love and exhaling love. It just makes me feel happier because I've done that. But what it also does is it creates I want to say spiritual, an unseen boundary for people that are attracted to your light and want to siphon it off. So it's a form of protection. It really is more like a boundary system. Hey, you don't get to come over here and play with me because I don't want to play with you, that kind of thing. So a bubble of protection with rose gold light or white light after you've grounded. Because sometimes if you put a bubble around yourself, you might just float up like a balloon, right? And then you're not participating in the present moment of your life. So that's one thing you can do. Another thing in terms of energy is to notice when you feel an electrical current running through you. Now, for me, what happens is, well, people I used to say, wow, I got chills. You know, goosebumps, chills. That's the electrical current of source energy activating your meridians, your chi, your system. But when you really tune into it, you will begin to feel certain areas. Like I'm pointing at the back of my head, at the base of my brain, where the neck joins the head. That area for me, when I'm tuned in, it lights up. I feel like this energetic vibration going around the back of my head up to the front, like by my temples. It's really cool. It's really cool. But part of why I think it's so cool is it is a reminder to me to pay attention to something that just occurred. It is a reminder to me that I am not alone, that there are spirit guides, healing helpers, angels, that there is a source of energy, a spiritual energy that is so much larger than me. And when my head, my brain vibes up, I am able to access inner wisdom, things, especially if I'm trying to solve a problem. I can access that inner wisdom much more easily by simply being still and listening. Yeah, and you might even ask, what do I need to know when you feel that electrical impulse happen? Some people, it just shoots down their spine. Oftentimes when that energy is tuned in, you are most likely getting downloads from the other side. I know this sounds weird, huh? But it's true. Downloads, informational downloads, or downloads where your physical, emotional, and mental systems are being upgraded, just like we do on our computers. And you got to wait a little bit for that download, upload, upgrade to happen, right? But we are electrical, energetic beings. So it makes sense to me that when I feel that, just to take a moment, take a short little mini pause and just feel it and acknowledge that you are being given a gift. You may not know it, what it means. You may not understand what it is. You know, you may never know, but it is us as the human body, the human being, the spiritual being upgraded. And so just allow those downloads. There's nothing wrong with them. There's nothing wrong with them, especially if you put yourself in your little protective bubble of energy, of rose gold light. There's nothing that can harm you. It just is you getting an upgrade. I think that's kind of cool. I do. So the other thing is, when you are energized, it's important to pay attention to who you're giving your energy to. Now, I know for me and a lot of women, we tend to give and give and give and give and give until there's nothing, until there's absolutely nothing. And I just had a session this morning with my friend and healer, Scott Clover. He's been on the show. He's coming on again. And he said, you know, you give so much that you got nothing, and you need to find support systems and utilize those support systems, because you need to be given too. So when we are giving our energy, and again, a lot of women do this, empaths do this, men and women, we are called to help and be of service to others. That's giving our energy out, and we have to then replenish it. We have to replenish it. And I'm a number one, you know, don't do what Susan says person, because I will give and give. And then it's only when I'm depleted or exhausted that I go, wow, what was I just doing? And if I just turn around and look at what I was just doing, I am absolutely clear that I did too much. I gave too much away. I gave this is something important for everybody to pay attention to, because oftentimes we give our gifts, whether it's healing or just wisdom, or, hey, I'll help you unpack your house or whatever. We give it automatically. And then afterwards we go, wow, I did too much. If you even stop to think you did too much. I have a friend who is more than the Energizer Bunny, you know, and she has I can say this word, international. She has an international business, and she just gives and gives and gives and goes and goes and goes. And in between all of her flights and business things that she has to do, she very rarely finds time to just be. And it's important to just be, to really, and by just being, I mean, like, sit in your backyard and watch the hummingbird peruse your roses. By being, I mean, going to the beach and watching the waves and just watch them. There's no agenda. They do what they do. They're not going to take anything away from you, right? But being is necessary. Sitting in the stillness, trying to quiet your mind, putting your to-do list agenda down, is part of how you re-energize yourself. It's part of how you reclaim your energy. I know this. We all know this. You're probably saying, Susan, I've been attempting to do this all my life. Well, me too. And I guess I'm just talking about it now because it's still an ongoing thing that has to be attended to. How do you energize yourself? Who do you give your energy away to? Does giving your energy away make you feel happy or angry and resentful? These are things that are important to pay attention to. And because so many of us, and again, especially women, you know, mothers, wives, daughters, we've kind of been taught, not kind of, we've been taught that it's important for us to give. But it is also important for us to feel energized and empowered and self-motivated, not motivated by the guilt or the shame of people, places, jobs, parents, but motivated because we love ourselves and we take good care of ourselves. So that takes a lot of attention. It takes a lot of intention to make sure that you are really, really living your empowered life, living your life so that you can be a source of light and love for not only others, but for yourself, for yourself. So how do you energize yourself? How do you re-energize yourself? And what are you doing that might be depleting you? That might be you giving parts of yourself away that you might never see again and that you didn't know you were giving away. I think we all do a little bit of all of that. So just sit with that question. You might want to journal about it and see where those places are within yourself and what you want to keep, what you want to retain just for you. And that's okay. That is totally okay. And sometimes we have to do that. So energize. Just a good question to ask ourselves almost every day. Until next time. And so it is. Namaste.